Yo, what's up world? It's your boy Philochko here. You know that American dude with the incredible mood? That's me. And what am I doing today? Well, today I am making another special episode. I know I usually teach English and most of you guys are here to learn some American English, but sometimes I take some breaks from it and I try to do some other things. Now don't worry, there are literally hundreds of videos on this channel in which you can watch to learn some English. But in this video, I want to speak specifically about, hey, Americans, guess what? Certain things are just better in Russia. There's certain things us Americans can learn from Russians. Certain things in their culture that if we had in our culture, I believe it will be beneficial for our people and our culture itself. I think it will be better from us. Now maybe some things are better in America, but that is a separate video. In this video, I'm specifically speaking about 3 things that I noticed that are much better in Russia than in America. And I will tell you what they are, and I will explain in detail for each one why I feel it's so, okay? So let's get to it. I have it all down on my phone right here, my phone right here. No, this is how I remember it. And the first thing we're going to get to is non-violent cartoons. Russian cartoons are known to be just as funny, you know. Russian cartoons, the most popular ones that at least I've known since I've got here is like Winnie Pooh is this little bear. He's just like Winnie the Pooh, but they call him Winnie Pooh. He's smaller. When he walks, he has no legs. When he walks, he has no legs. He only has feet. He loves to eat honey. He has a lot of friends, and he's just addicted to honey. But in this cartoons, there's not many guns. And if there are guns, they're not real looking guns that shoot bullets. Maybe they shoot a little top or something like that. You know, maybe they shoot a little cat, but nothing like actual bullets like we have in Bugs Bunny and stuff like that. This cartoon is non-violent. Same with the other one that's very popular, New Pagadi. New Pagadi is like this wolf who chases this little rabbit, and this little rabbit is actually a boy rabbit. Is it a boy rabbit? It's a boy rabbit, Zyka, yeah? It's a boy rabbit. But what's interesting is this little boy rabbit looks like a girl rabbit in America, because in American cartoons, we don't give boys blush and eyelashes. So to a lot of Americans, this little Zyka, which is a boy rabbit, this little Zyka looks like a girl, but it's actually a boy rabbit. I was real confused when I found that out myself. But in his cartoons, there's not many guns and stuff like that. In America, it's very common that our cartoons have just crazy violence. Like when I watch, because I've been in Russia for some time, when I watch Russian cartoons and learn about Russian cartoons, then I go back and watch some of the American cartoons, I'm like, holy crap. You know, it's common to see Elmer Fudd try to shoot Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny point the gun at him, and Elmer Fudd gets shot in the face with a shotgun. And that's like kind of normal for us to watch. Well, I'm not trying to say America is violent because of the cartoons and stuff we have. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying I think it's beneficial for our kids to not grow up watching such violent images in cartoons. Usually a cartoon is made specially for kids to enjoy, for kids to see images that they should have in their minds, and images that they can maybe learn from. But getting shot in the face with a shotgun, I don't think there's much for kids to learn from that, okay? So that's number 1. Russia has a lot of non-violent cartoons. Now let's get to number 2. Number 2 is about social networking. In VK, wow. In Russia, what's the biggest social network? Well, the biggest social network in Russia is VK. It stands for Vkontakte. And Vkontakte means like in contact, right? Like in contact, okay. In contact. So Vkontakte has went through many changes over the years. First, it was known as Vkontakte, Toskaru, and as years went on, now it's known as VK.com, because now it's becoming a little more international. But why is Vkontakte better than Facebook to a lot of people? Well, I tell you why. Because out here in Russia, they're not that strict on music sharing and video sharing. So the VK, which is how I became popular from Vkontakte. VK, you're able to listen to music, you're able to download music, you're able to upload music, you're able to upload movies, download movies, all that stuff, you're able to do it on a social networking platform. You're able to communicate with other people, meet other people, share your ideas and all that stuff, just like Facebook, except you have music and movies to share as well. And not only that, they also have some cool little, I wouldn't say applications, but cool little add-ons on VK that we don't have on Facebook. Like on my page, if I want to know what Russian people think, I can place a vote, and on this vote you can put options, and people who go to your page can vote, and you can find out how a lot of people feel about a certain topic. And it's just typical. You have a lot of things on VK that you can do that you can't really do on Facebook. Now, VK is not very popular at all in America, but I just came back from the VK headquarters yesterday. When I was there yesterday, I learned some things that VK, they are planning on expanding in America, but with basically a photo app platform, something like Instagram, but the VK version. So Americans, look out, VK is soon coming to you. And if I can, I'm gonna help it to spread, all right? And that's the second thing, a better social network because they have less laws with sharing music and movies. Now to the third and last thing, and this thing is probably going to be the most controversial of all the things I said in this video because I'm gonna have to try my best to explain it to the best of my abilities without getting a bunch of people angry, all right? Third thing is, the police are nicer to black people. And I'm gonna have to explain this one. This is something I've noticed from my personal experiences, because this is from what I went through, maybe some other black people, and when I say black, I mean like of African blood, like, you know, my krov is African, I'm from America, yeah, but my blood is African. So I'm speaking of people, you know, with African blood. You know, generally in Russia, I've been treated better in Russia by police than how cops in America would have treated me if they were in the Russian police officer situation. So in America, cops are known to be a little aggressive with black people. Sometimes they're known to shoot at black people when it's not even worth it. Sometimes they're known to arrest black people without enough evidence and all that stuff. But out here in Russia, it is the opposite. And I feel that way because when you come to Russia from another country, I believe all countries, but I know when you come from America, you have to register. And what does it mean to register? You just gotta go to the post office, register your stuff and whatever, and then you can stay legally, so to say. So you gotta get a visa, then once you get a visa, you come here, then you have to register. The visa isn't the end. You have to register, gotta let them know where you're staying and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But what's interesting is when I first got here, I didn't register. The first few times I came here, I didn't register because I didn't think it was important. I didn't think so. So it comes down to sometimes I went face to face with some police and they found out I wasn't registered, and instead of taking me to jail or doing all the things they could have done, they decided to just let it go. Why? I think it's because I'm black. And why? I'll tell you something. Both police officers in different cities said the same thing. And I was with people during this time. I was with two different people during these two situations, and they can prove this story themselves. They can give evidence to it. They can give their side to it because they were there. They both said the same thing. They said, you could go to jail for this, but we don't want to put you in jail with all the Tajiks. That's what they say. That's what they said to me. And basically what a Tajik is like a Caucasian person, right? Basically. Okay, out here in Russia, the race thing is a little different. In America, it's mostly black and white, or in like black, Latin, Hispanics, and whites, like that, you know. That's usually how it is. But in Russia, it's a little different. In Russia, if there is some tension, it's like from Russians towards like people who are from the southern areas of Russia. Maybe in the Caucasus, and maybe like Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan and stuff like that. Because they have some immigrants from those countries, there's some tension towards those people. So these people are usually checked the most for documents. They're usually arrested the most when they do something bad. But because I'm a black guy, plus I'm American, when I do something, they don't really look at me as trying to immigrate to the country illegally or trying to take their jobs or something, because there's not many of us here. So that's why I think they let me go and they never arrested me. The two times they could have arrested me, they didn't arrest me. They're very nice and they actually helped me to get what I needed. Instead of taking me to jail, which was much faster to do, they helped me by getting me what I needed so I wouldn't go to jail. I can't imagine cops doing that for me in America. I cannot imagine that. I do something wrong, they're like, okay, we're going to be nice to you so you don't go to jail, and we're going to help you get what you need. No, in America, face on the car, get your ass in there, and all of that. And so it's very different. So I feel American police can learn something if they, I'm not saying American police shouldn't arrest people when they do something bad, but just saying maybe sometimes some American police officers can use some, restriction on what they do. You know, they can not always go to hurt the person. They don't need to always go and arrest the person for the littlest things. Maybe I feel more American police officers should look at people as people they should help and care for instead of people who are their targets. That's how I feel American police officers can learn from Russian police officers, okay? And that's basically it, people. If you like this video, definitely check out the other video I made today, what Russians can learn from Americans. Same thing, just flipping it around. Today is what Americans can learn from Russians, but in this video right here, it's what Russians can learn from Americans, or what Russia can learn from America. So let me know what you think, and I'm out, people. Later.